Hey, hello, happy Tuesday. This is Jack Tubbs from the J Team at Realty One. Oh, just hoping you're having a wonderful day today. It's a little bit cooler. Hey, we just talked about the down payment assistance mortgages that are open to us here in the state of Arizona. We also went through the federal programs. We went through the FHA, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. We also went through the USDA and also the VA loans that are available that are with down payment assistance. What exactly down payment assistance was. What I want to talk about today, because one of the main questions I get, especially when we're getting ready to close a real estate transaction, is what fees do I pay? And I want to address that to the buyers. What closing costs are there to a buyer? Well, it also is going to depend on what kind of mortgage that you have. If you're going to have an FHA or if you're going to have a VA, et cetera, or conventional, there are different fees that are charged for different situations. But I want to look at one of the things that always is included, and that's called the origination fee. And this is the lender's fee for processing the mortgage application. It's typically about 1% of whatever the total mortgage amount is. So if it's $300,000, a $300,000 mortgage, it's going to be a $3,000 origination fee. But this also can be different depending on what's negotiated, what the lender's offering, etc. Now, if it's a VA loan, it's called something different, but it's pretty close to being the same thing. It's called a VA funding fee, and this is a fee charged to the veteran. Now, what's kind of cool about it is that it can be rolled in to the mortgage. It doesn't have to necessarily be paid up front. It's nice that you can pay it up front. It might even help your interest rate just a little bit if you do, but it does not have to be. It can be rolled into the loan, which is one of those great things that continually save you out-of-pocket money. And as we just talked about having some down payment assistance, just think about it. All your closing costs, and probably your biggest closing cost, would be the VA funding fee, except for all those things that go into escrow. And I'll address those a little bit later as we kind of run down the list here of different fees that are paid by the buyer. So there's either an origination fee if it's a regular mortgage, or there's a VA funding fee if it is a VA loan. And like I said, once again, it can be one of those costs that can be rolled into a VA mortgage. Of course, appraisal fee. Since it's the appraisal on the house that you're buying, you will pay the appraisal fee. Sometimes, depending on the situation, it can be negotiated that the seller will pay for the appraisal. And that is going to be very dependent upon the situation and what you can negotiate with the seller. I've only seen it happen a handful of times, basically because when we were putting an offer in on the home above and beyond what the seller was asking to secure the property, we were pretty sure it wasn't going to appraise at that amount. So we requested that the seller pay for the appraisal. But once again, that doesn't get agreed to very often, and it's something that you'll rarely find, but it usually is a cost paid by the buyer. Attorney fees. Attorneys always review documents, even for title companies and escrow companies, even though they produce deeds and they produce all the different estoppels and all the other documents that are involved with a real estate transaction. They still have a attorney review, whether it's a staff attorney or whether it's an attorney outside of their office, but there usually is an attorney review because they want to make sure that all the language is correct. And then if there's anything that's mentioned in any of the paperwork that might cause a legal problem, usually the attorney will point that out and they'll have the title company or the escrow company address that so that it's written up properly. Discount points. Now, of course, we all want to pay less on our interest. So when we have a ability to buy points is what they call it. This is a fee charged to ensure that this is a fee. This is at one point, a point is 1% of the mortgage. So in other words, if it's a $300,000 loan and it's at 1% of the mortgage, it's going to be $1,000. So these are considered basically like prepaid interest, and they help bring down the interest rate because you've already paid some prepaid interest up front. There's the lenders and title insurance. Now, the lender is going to want to be insured in case something happens to the property. And basically, if you want to look at it legally, they own the mortgage portion of your property. So if you buy a $350,000 home, you have a $300,000 mortgage basically they're going to be called. I mean, it's going to be a lien against the house, but they're going to have a lien against $300,000 worth of that home. They're going to want to make sure that there's title insurance so that nobody can come and say, hey, no, Mr. Buyer, no, Mr. Lender, you don't have any interest in this property because, hey, we have a mechanic's lien for $250,000 because we totally gutted the place, put a new roof on, new kitchen, new bathrooms, new plumbing, new electrical, new heating and cooling, all this stuff for this house, and we didn't get paid. So we put a lien on this house, and we want to make sure that we get paid. Well, that title insurance is going to make sure that that person who has that mechanic's lien on that house gets paid, plus tax liens, all these other things are paid, and that the title is free and clear once you and your lender take title to the property. That's all I'm going to cover for today, but we're going to go over this probably for the next 3-4 days, or actually the next couple days I'm going to do this, and then we're going to take a break for Christmas. Actually, Christmas Eve. Tomorrow will be my last broadcast, and we're going to take Christmas Eve and Christmas Day off, and then the weekend, and then I'll see you Monday after Christmas. We'll continue on with this list of costs to the buyer, what typical closing costs are, so you have an idea what they are, where they come from, what they do, who they pay, etc. So this is Jack Tubbs from the J Team at Realty One, wishing you a fantastic Tuesday. I hope you're all ready for the holiday because it is quickly approaching. So if you haven't gotten your shopping done, man, now's the time to get it done. Drove by the mall yesterday, man, oh man, packed. Well, not the mall, but the strip mall where all the big box stores are. Man, packed to the gills. And boy, under this time of pandemic, you think that would be the last thing you would see, but it's still going on. So if you need to do some shopping, get it done because the stores are swamped. That means the selection is going to start to thin out. So if you're looking for that special item, now's the day to get it. Anyways, if you have any questions about closing costs, about mortgages, about down payment assistance programs, about buying, about selling, about leasing, about anything in regards to real estate, even if you have a probate question about a probate estate or just about probates in general, please don't hesitate to call. You can get a hold of me directly at 248-330-7972. That's 248-330-7972. You can email me, Jack at theJteam.house. That's JACK at THE, the letter J, TEAM.house. You can call the office and talk to any of my team members. 623-252-4061. 623-252-4061. Hey, this is Jack Tubbs from the J Team at Realty One in Surprise, Arizona, wishing you a fantastic Tuesday. See you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.